Planet Earth. Is planet Earth habitable? Yes, we know this because there are about 7.53 billion people as of 2017 living on this Earth. This number has increased since then due to amount of reproduction and just the more people, as the years go by, more and more people live on the Earth and more people reproduce. We know it is habitable because there are so many signs of life in existence. We live here now. We are a sign of life. We can think for ourselves and we can live and breathe and move around. We also know that there are plants, animals, insects, a lot of life living in this earth. Now, why is Earth habitable? Why is Earth habitable and other planets are not? The distance of Earth from the sun is exactly the correct amount. I will discuss this further in just a little bit. If the sun was too close, or if the Earth was too close to the sun, a little bit closer than it is now, we would get too hot. If it was a little bit further away, we would probably freeze up. Another thing is the insulating atmosphere of Earth. Earth is protected by an atmosphere that keeps heat in and keeps us warm and protects us from the harmful UV radiations of the sun. Earth is also made of carbon and water, which are essential components of life. We need water to live and carbon as well. So many planets are made of other elements like nitrogen or just other elements which play a huge role in whether the planet will be habitable or not. Another reason why Earth is habitable is because of the Earth's cycles, the water cycle, rock cycle, and just the continuous dynamic changing Earth. Earth is constantly moving and changing. Another is the molten core. Earth has a core that is in the center and heats up rock and changes rock. It is also a very dense planet. In addition to being the wrong type. Now this slide is cool because it shows kind of a visual perspective of where Earth is placed in relation to the sun. And if we were anywhere else, if we were a little bit closer, a little bit further away, yes, there's a little bit of leeway, but Earth would toast up or freeze up, and we don't want either of those to happen. Now here are the different Earth cycles. We have the water cycle, the rock cycle, the carbon cycle, and global cycles of life-giving elements. So in previous areas, we talked about the rock cycle and the water cycle, which are really neat. But there is also another cycle called the carbon cycle. And this is basically just a series of processes by which carbon compounds are interconverted in the environment, involving incorporation of carbon dioxide into living tissue through photosynthesis and its return to the atmosphere through respiration, the decay of dead organisms, and the burning of fossil fuels. This carbon cycle is really cool. It kind of represents carbon going up into the sky and then back through the sunlight to photosynthesis and down into the earth through the decay of organisms and into the ground. Now, on to our next slide. So here is a picture of that carbon cycle, which is pretty cool, and it also shows some water over on the side and just kind of explains what a cycle looks like in dealing with how the earth is changing. Another cool picture I have here. Now here is my next picture. It's basically a picture I found that I really like because a question arises, are any other planets habitable? Is there any other life outside of Earth? What about Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Uranus, anywhere? Scientists have been searching, like We've got people flying out there now, which is super far, to look in search of life. But I personally believe that Earth was created and there potentially could be other life. I don't know. Nobody really knows, like, for 100%, but it is definitely a big question that arises and very interesting to look into. I believe this is a very cool topic, and it's just so neat how our planet fits all in the right categories to be habitable. And that's all.